Hey, what is up, everybody? Appreciate you guys for tuning into the show today. It is PFL playoffs number 2, Harrison versus Fabian. These are the full card predictions and the betting tips. Gonna talk about it all for PFL here. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're in store for a pretty fun card. These playoffs overall are exciting, especially because I get to see the fighters fight so frequently. There's a lot of high level fighters in PFL, and honestly, this card's got me more excited than Bellator, which is essentially why I picked PFL first. It's on Thursday, and I said, you know what? I need to give the predictions out sooner than dropping them tomorrow. So we are here. It's going to be sweet. Looking forward to it. Smash that like button. We need at least 170 likes on these full card predictions for PFL. Also, shout out to everybody watching live or on replay. Thanks to everybody tuning in, especially you guys in the live chat. Shout out to you with the compliments over here, man. I appreciate the love. Thank you guys all for being here, though. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're covering UFC, Bellator, PFL, covering it all this week, as we always do. And I want to get into these PFL predictions because it's a card worth talking about, and I'm really excited to turn up to the main card where we have some serious implications on the line. But let's get into some of these picks here. We're going to start it off with the first one of the night, all the way down at the bottom. Christian Lohsen versus Jonas Flok. Okay, so this is a lightweight bout. If you have heard of Kenneth Cross, he was on the Contender Series. Jonas Flok was a recent opponent of his. That's where I actually originally had heard of him when studying for Kenneth Cross. He has pretty decent takedowns and essentially a karate-esque style of striking. Now, his opponent on the other side, Christian Lohsen, pretty good with his grappling. Fights well inside, solid trips from the clinch, and really does like that top position. A factor that really stands out to me is the youth on the side of Lohsen and the size advantage, 5'8 versus 6'2. When you're a grappler, it's not extremely, it's not impossible, but it's a lot harder to take down somebody that's a fair amount taller than you, especially against the cage inside of the clinch. I feel like Lohsen's going to have an edge there. I think as an underdog, especially, Christian Lohsen is a pretty good prediction. I personally do see him winning this fight. I think he'll end up winning it by a decision in a fairly competitive grappling style bout, but I think Lohsen will have the edge over Jonas Flok in this matchup, and striking too should be more effective from the range. It's an early fight of the night, so be cautious with the bet, but I like plus 120 underdog Christian Lohsen over the minus 150 favorite Jonas Flok. So we'll go with Christian Lohsen to win this bout via unanimous decision to start the night off. I'm excited for PFL, guys. And let me know if you guys want a fight companion for it. I'm really leaning towards doing it. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see it, because I'd definitely be interested in doing one again, because I haven't gotten to do those PFL fight companions in a fair amount of time now, but I do believe I'll be bringing it back this week. But let's talk about this matchup. Miranda Barber, Amanda Leve. Lower level fight. It's women's lightweight division, which is just not a developed weight class. 2 fights as a pro for Barber. Also has some pro boxing experience. Leve on the other side has some higher level grappling experience. I do think there's an advantage on the ground for Leve. Striking wise, she's not bad actually. Southpaw, pressure forward style, because she's not really concerned about going to the mat. She has confidence with her striking. Will throw straight punch combinations, rushing inside. Will potentially give problems to Barber here, even though Barber has like a pro boxing background. She is 1 and 2 as a pro. I think she will struggle with Leve because of the threat of the grappling. I feel like Barber is scrappy inside, and she does mix it up well, and I think we're in store for a decent fight. I see why she's the favorite over Barber, Leve being, as of right now, let's check the exact odds. I know Tapology could be slightly out of date. Barber plus 185, Leve minus 225. Odds-wise, do not touch this fight. It's a debuting fighter. I don't think it's worth a minus 225, and I don't think it's worth a risky bet on these girls. Women's MMA is super dangerous. Now add into the factor that one has 2 fights and the other has 0 as a professional. I think Leve wins by second round submission, but it's not one that I'm going to be throwing money at. But I do predict her to be victorious, getting this fight to the ground and tapping out Miranda Barber in this matchup. Let's keep on moving up the card. Claudia Zamora versus Mariana Morais. I like Mariana here. I think that striking-wise, she's pretty scrappy when she comes inside, mixes it up with combinations, will come in with flurries. I mean, she does train, I believe, alongside Jessica Andrade, so you can see similarities at times, to that style of brawler. These girls are tough. They're hard-nosed Brazilian girls. Good clinch game, good takedowns. Hard-fought win in the last one. It was against, I believe, Kaitlin Young. But she clearly won the fight, I felt. On the other side, you have a girl that just has 4 fights as a professional, 3-1, Claudia Zamora. She's 35 years of age, and her opponent has a serious amount of experience advantage and is younger. The time committed to the game is a serious factor. With Claudia, she does have like a pretty square stance, but does come inside and fight decently. Lots of flurries, hooks, straight shots. A little bit awkward, maybe. I think Mariana Morais is just technically more sound. She's also scrappier, more high-level experience as a professional. I think she should get this fight to the ground and potentially get a TKO on the ground in the second round. I'll go Mariana Morais. Could also see a submission, but I really am seeing finish in this matchup for Mariana. Could go the distance for sure, but I think the level difference should be on showcase here, and I'll go Mariana for the victory. I do think she'll definitely pull it off here. Have to caution you because it's women's MMA as far as the betting side goes, but one is a 5 foot tall lightweight, the other's 5'4", so size advantage, experience advantage, everything in favor of Morais for me. I like her to win this fight, and I do like this TKO rather, but potentially decision too. So I won't be propping up what method of victory, but I might potentially have Mariana on one riskier parlay. -225 to +185 safe. Same odds as the Barber fight, interestingly enough. But Mariana a lot more deserving of that favorite status. All right, let's get to the next bout of the night. Make sure you guys smash that like button if you have not yet. Let's get at least 170 likes up in here. Let's talk about this one, though. Heavyweight division. The one you have to tune into, it's a fight you don't want to blink because you have 2 knockout punchers. Seumanutafa is durable as hell. 4 straight losses, all by decision. Ferreira had his way with them, unloaded some ferocious ground and pound, was unable to get him out of there. This man is tough as nails. He knows how to survive. You look back, fight against Matt Mitrione. He dropped Mitrione, but he himself then was finished and lost that fight. Not technically the most sound fighter, but just a hard-nosed brawler who takes a very good punch. I would say he's truly tough as nails. And his opponent on the other side, DeReese, he's been knocked out twice in the past 2 months. Shouldn't really even be allowed to fight getting finished like that. I guess it's a PFL. Somehow they're getting him clearance. I guess he's medically okay, but I don't like fighters getting KO'd back-to-back like that. And then especially now coming back. A month ago, he was knocked out. I think Seumanutafa is going to have his way with a guy in DeReese who at this point is kill or be killed. He has a knockout style. He's looking to duck low and throw overhands. Kind of like essentially, I guess, a poor man's Derek Lewis at this point. Not really mixing in the wrestling all that much anymore. Seems undersized as well for this weight class. I think he'd have a lot more success down a weight class. I think the naturally bigger guy is Seumanutafa. He's stronger. He's an underdog, interestingly enough. But I think he'll actually get a KO in the first round of DeReese here. Odds-wise, yeah, money has come down on Seumanutafa. At best value, he's +145 to -165. DeReese, at best value, DeReese is -135. But Seumanutafa on some lines is at +105. So if you are going to bet it, head over to DraftKings. It's at +145 there. I think you'd want to get Seumanutafa fast. And I also like that KO prop bet whenever that does release. We'll talk about it on this week's Best MMA Bets. We're doing another one of them. It's this Wednesday where we cover all of the MMA world's betting for this weekend. So that should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that show. But Seumanutafa for the win here over DeReese by knockout, and I do believe it is early first-round KO. Next fight of the night, prelim battle, Kaitlin Young and Mariana Mokhnatkina. Hard name to pronounce, but Mariana on the other side just fought a month ago in Bellator, was released, and now is sent over to PFL. Interesting how she's this wide of a favorite. Let's see if those lines are still accurate. Right now, -205, yeah, +165, even all the way up at +200 for Kaitlin Young. I don't know. I'm not all that sold on Marina just yet. I mean, from what I've seen of her, decent with her striking. Chin comes up a bit high. Really likes those overhands. Improving for sure. 5-2 record as a pro. Had 2 losses in Bellator, 1 win. On the other side, Kaitlin Young, Thai style of striking. Decent combination punches inside. Not all that great, though. She's decent, well-rounded, I would say, but 12-11 record with 1 draw. Not a pretty one to look at, but she's got a lot of pro experience, strong in the clinch. That Thai style background will definitely give her a potential advantage there. Not a fight that I really want to bet, but I'm really leaning Kaitlin Young. I think Kaitlin Young can squeak out a decision here. It's not like Marina is this young prospect either. She's 33. Young is 35. She just has a lot more pro experience. I'll ride Kaitlin Young, win by a decision as an underdog. She's all the way up at that plus 200 money. I'm going Kaitlin Young here for the win over Marina Mokhnatkina. That's a hard last name to pronounce, but we're going with her opponent, Kaitlin Young. Next fight of the night, the featured prelim bout. It's Renan Ferreira, who looked to be a potential playoff heavyweight. Unfortunately, not happening for him. Takes on Stuart Austin. Austin, his biggest win to date is his W over Tom Aspinall. It was a fight he was losing. He ends up coming back and getting a heel hook in that matchup. That was some years ago. Now Aspinall, though, great prospect in the UFC. Renan Ferreira on one side, extremely long, 6'8", 85.5-inch reach. He's a good Thai style of striker, mixes it up well with low kicks. His straight punches are very good. He's very physically strong. I mean, he's 6'8". He's a beast of a man, and he's in incredible shape. Top game is very good. Dominant ground and pound, good submission defense. I would say he has pretty good finishing ability overall. Even though he didn't get Seumanutafa out of there, nobody does. Seumanutafa is a guy that hasn't been finished in a while, and he's on a 4-fight losing streak not being finished, so I don't fault Renan Ferreira for that. He beat the hell out of him. Austin on the other side has been finished. He has a win over Tom Aspinall, as I said. It's his biggest W to date. Decent with his kickboxing skill set. Tends to get pressured a bit by bigger guys and will be fighting with his back against the cage. I think that'll be a big problem here against Ferreira, who's got an 8-inch reach advantage to go alongside of a 5-inch height advantage. He's going to be dominant on the ground. I do believe the fight will eventually get there, maybe even with Austin trying to engage it and then being defended. I think Ferreira gets a KO TKO in the first or second round here. Leaning first, though, late first. I'll go Renan Ferreira win KO TKO. He's going to beat up Stuart Austin here, and potential problem for whoever wins the playoffs. This guy next year is going to be making a run. I truly do believe Renan Ferreira has the skill set to be at the very top of this PFL heavyweight division. This unfortunate circumstance has let him out of there. Ferreira obviously sitting at a massive favorite. He's sitting around minus 225 at best value. Austin at best value plus 234. Not a bet I would play. I like Renan Ferreira. KO TKO minus 225. That is the pick there, and definitely a parlay addition for sure. Now, let's jump to the main card. If you guys have not yet, smash the hell out of that like button. As I said, I need at least 170 likes on these PFL full card predictions and betting tips. Super excited for the PFL playoffs. Denis Goltsov, Ante Delija to start it off. This is a good one. Not an easy fight for either man. I think that Denis Goltsov, though, technically very sound with his kickboxing, and his kickboxing and range is at that technical point where he can keep very good wrestlers off of him. You look, Ali Isaev didn't have an easy time with Goltsov from range, caught him with a big shot, knocked him out. Most guys are not going to find a way inside of Goltsov sitting 6'5", 78-inch reach. Granted, his opponent, Delija, is just as big as he is, but more of an athletic style of fighter with a pressure style. Not as technical. The technical kickboxing of Goltsov clearly better than Ante Delija. Delija on the other side, though, is a powerhouse. Physically very strong. He's explosive. He's got decent wrestling skills. Solid straight punch combinations. But he's outmatched here. Denis Goltsov is too well-rounded for him. I think he's going to fend off any takedowns. He's going to slowly break him down with strikes, and I think we're looking at late TKO for Denis Goltsov. I'll pick third-round TKO for Goltsov. Could also see it going all three decision, but we'll pick Goltsov to win this fight. He is a fairly strong favorite, sitting around that minus 188 range to Delija, upwards at plus 191 at best value, but I like Goltsov here, and I think he picks him apart striking-wise and puts on a hell of a performance for a potential late KO TKO over Ante Delija. I think it's a fun fight, and I'm really happy to see it because I thought that these were two high-level guys in this PFL tournament, and this heavyweight division in PFL, especially the playoff round, gets me very excited. And Goltsov, early favorite to probably win the whole thing, and I think he's going to beat Delija in this matchup as well. Next fight of the night, it's our women's playoff semifinal, the featured bout of the night as well. Taylor Guardado versus Larissa Pacheco. There's a clear experience and level difference, but these are the two who made it to the playoffs alongside Kayla Harrison and Jenna Fabian. There's a level difference, unfortunately. Guardado's getting thrown to the wolves early here. Now, she has a very wrestling-heavy style. Even her stand-up game looks like a wrestler. Not all that well-rounded with her striking. Still needs to work on some things technically, but is developing. She's got 3 pro fights, guys. Like, you can't hold her to a crazy standard. I know she is 30, but she's only got 3 pro bouts. I don't think she's a bad fighter. She's a girl that's developing and has done well using her skills that she has, but she's clearly outmatched. Pacheco's very well-rounded, good Brazilian jiu-jitsu game, serious knockout power, especially for a female. Like, she hits very hard. Powerful hooks. She'll close distance quickly and unload. I think she's going to fend off any takedown attacks. I think she's going to pick Guardado's face apart, essentially striking for the whole first round. I think she stops her late in the first. All right, Larissa Pacheco by first round KO here, and I think this is a serious win. It's going to skyrocket her into the finals. We'll talk about who that'll be against as we get up to that prediction, but I do think Pacheco, being a strong favorite, it's a deserving mark. Serious level difference of experience, of skill set. Guardado needs some more time before she'd be able to compete on this level, if ever, because Pacheco's very good. Minus 290 favorite. Guardado plus 230 to even plus 299 dog. I like Pacheco all day here, and I like her to win this fight. KO TKO, round number 1. Let's keep on moving up this PFL card, and let's get to our next fight of the night. It is Bruno Cappelozza and Jamelle Jones, our co-main event. Serious heavyweight implications. The winner of this bout takes on the winner of Goltsov. I guess I'm jumping ahead saying that Goltsov is most definitely going to beat Delija, but I think that's, how I'm feeling it's going to go. So the winner would be in a very serious fight no matter who they get. But Cappelozza burst onto the scene, quickly sleeping Delija. And then he knocks out DeReese, but DeReese wasn't there in his best shape at all. I think DeReese took that fight maybe to make a little cash. Now, I'm not saying he threw the fight, but he knew he was outmatched, and you can tell as soon as that fight started. Jamelle Jones, beast of a wrestler, very good top control. He's physically super strong. 3 dominant knockouts in a row, especially against Clinton Abreu. He beat the brakes off of him. You go back and watch Cappelozza's fight with Abreu. That was a competitive fight. Granted, that was a different Abreu. That was a more motivated to rise Abreu. That was in Jungle Fight many years back. Cappelozza has now emerged as like a serious heavyweight prospect, especially outside of the UFC. He's got dynamic knockout power. He's super entertaining. He can explode at any moment. He actually has solid Brazilian jiu-jitsu off of his back and good takedown defense too. He's going to struggle with Jamelle Jones, though, if he gets in close with him, because Jones is an absolute savage. But Henrique Cappelozza has a good range advantage. I think he has a footwork speed advantage. Laterally moves faster. I think he'll fend off the takedowns. He'll unload with powerful strikes. I think he will knock out Jamelle Jones here in the first round. I think Cappelozza in the finals, it's going to be a huge fight, and I am super pumped for it. He's a savage. I'm a fan of Cappelozza. He's burst onto the scene. I like Jamelle Jones too, and I do think it's a very good test for Cappelozza heading to the finals, but I think he wins by KO in the first round by explosive and dynamic knockout. The odds do agree. They have Cappelozza in that minus 200 range of favorite, minus 188. Jamelle Jones plus 191 at best value, plus 165. I like Cappelozza, KO TKO prop bet. Whenever it drops, we'll talk about it on this week's Best MMA Bets. I'm riding with him to beat Jamelle Jones in our co-main event. And let's jump to the main event of the evening. Kayla Harrison versus Jenna Fabian. Now, I actually think Jenna Fabian technically is the better striker, without a doubt here. She's a southpaw. She's very sound with her kickboxing. Fights out of Auckland, New Zealand. You watch her striking style, you see similarities to Israel Adesanya in her movement, in her feints, in the way she throws leg kicks. She's nasty with those low kicks. Solid straight left as well, fighting out of that southpaw stance. But is she ready for Kayla yet? Only her 6th pro bout. It's Kayla's 11th. Though there's a range advantage by a fair amount here, how long can Fabian keep Harrison away from her? I feel as though as long as she is away, she's going to find success. Kayla's a pretty dominant southpaw at this point with her judo. She's taking everybody to the ground, throwing them to the floor, beating the brakes off of them. Obviously has a physical strength edge over, most girls in the world, and especially in this Bellator tournament. Her top pressure is very good. I think the odds could be closer because I think Jenna Fabian is a real bright prospect, and I think she has tons of things to like here. But the odds of her landing a Holly Holm-style upset KO over Kayla Harrison, I think are relatively low, but it is possible here. But I'll still ride Kayla Harrison's second-round submission, but I'm considering a bet on Jenna Fabian at such serious plus money. plus 900, plus 750. If you can find her at plus 1383, you might as well throw $10 down for the slight chance that she could pull it off. Now, yes, Harrison should probably win the fight, but her odds are too widespread just because I think the skill set matchup is different. But I guess if they have the odds closer, everybody is putting money on Kayla down, and the odds are going to get wider by the end of the week. I think Fabian's a good dog play. I think Kayla Harrison, though, submits her in the second round, but I still have this strange gut feeling that you have to give a little bit of love to the kickboxer, Jenna Fabian, on the lines here, being this wide. But I think Kayla will eventually get her to the floor and tap her out in that second round. Kayla Harrison will go to the finals. She would then face Pacheco, potentially, if my picks hold up. Cappelozza would then fight Goltsov. I think we're in store for a great PFL $1 million final. I honestly cannot wait for that card. That is going to be insane. But overall, PFL delivering with a pretty good card. Main card sweet. Solid fights through the undercard. I would say this is good action from PFL, B+. Like, I'm actually really excited for it. And I think it should be a lot of fun to continue to break down this week when we do the best bets video. And also, to do the live play-by-play. That'll be a blast here for this card. But I do want to give you guys some parlays before I send you off. Let me pull up best fight odds here. So we're over in PFL. We're going to talk about some potential plays here. All right. Let's see what the finalized card is. Yeah. That's the finalized card. I'm just double checking here because you always see canceled fights will still remain up here on best fight odds, but I think these fights are on a different card here. Okay, so who is somebody I'm feeling confident? Definitely Renan Ferreira will be a potential play for me here. I feel as though, who do we want to add in? Man, the PFL card I think is all over the place. I think we might have to jump to next week's card to get some of the proper odds here because I think we're missing a couple fights here. Yeah, Pacheco, Guardado's over here. Delija Goltsov is over here as well. That's a mistake. Be plus 179. I'm not going to put Cappelozza down just yet. I will, though, throw down because I like this three-fighter parlay. It's like true lock one, but I want to add in Seumanutafa as a dog to give me plus 500. This is a risky, but I think potential likely four-fighter parlay to hit here with Renan Ferreira, Larissa Pacheco, Denis Goltsov, and Seumanutafa. We'll take it deeper with the best betting breakdown on the internet, essentially, with this week's best MMA bets, where we cover UFC, Bellator, and PFL. We'll do cross parlays and whatnot, give you guys potentially some near guarantee parlays to really cash nicely here. But I feel like this would be a fun one if you're just doing PFL straight. I don't want to take too much risk with some of the other fights, but I think that this one could definitely be a casher for us, make us some nice little dinero. Let's see what else we can find here. Cappelozza, Fabian, Harrison. You put Harrison down, you're not getting much back. I just don't think it'd be worth it. Let's see. See if there's like Harrison. If we could play it with Harrison inside the distance, but they don't normally let us do that. Fight doesn't go the decision. What's that at? Plus 582. It's not even worth it. We'll have to dive deeper with the best bets, but as of right now, I think that we have pretty solid four-fighter parlay that I see potentially cashing here just purely for PFL. Super excited for the card. I hope you guys enjoyed this full card breakdown for this PFL event. I think that it's going to be pretty enjoyable to watch. And I think we're in store for a good night of fights. Appreciate all my people for tuning into this late night live show where we went deep with all of the PFL picks. Yeah, we'll have Bellator predictions dropping tomorrow. So that will that'll be pretty exciting. PFL Fight Companion is a hard yes. All right, we'll do it, man. We'll have to do it. I definitely want to do it, man. DeReese is off the card. He has COVID. No way. We're getting this live, man. All right, let's see. If DeReese is off the card because COVID, who's he going to fight then? Let me know in the live chat if you know something that I don't hear about this DeReese fight. As of right now, they still have him up, but you guys on Twitter for that, or are you just bullshitting me? Somebody fact check if DeReese is actually off the card with this fight, and against who was it? Against Seumanutafa. Let's see. I was actually super excited for that fight, so if it is off, be low-key pretty pissed. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what somebody says in this live chat here. All right, all right. DeVito, do I ever like to live bet? Sometimes, yeah. Tafa's off. Yeah, the DeReese Tafa fight is off. So I guess we gotta take that one off, unfortunately. DeReese fight is off. Okay. Not trying to doubt you, bro. It's just, occasionally the trolls do jump in, but I believe you, bro. Where's your source though? Because if you are trolling, PFL News, where's your source, man? Let me know where your source is at. Because now you got me curious. Because if anything, I'll have to throw another pick out on this week's best MMA bets. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything out on it yet, but as of right now, it is what it is, whether it's on or off. I think we still got some money plays though. Should cash in beautifully on this card, and I think that we're also gonna have a lot of fun doing some cross plays. But I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. I always enjoy chatting it up, especially for PFL, man. I really feel like PFL's got a good thing going. I'm becoming a pretty big fan of their cards, and it's gonna be up. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be straight action for PFL. I think we're getting a lot of finishes, a lot of entertaining bouts. I'm pretty excited, man. Yeah, I guess you guys are questioning the source, man. He didn't say the source. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He's probably trolling here, man. But if you're not, I appreciate the insight. I'll have to find out later. And if that fight is actually canceled, then you'll see on this week's Best MMA Bets. I'll give you the pick for who I think is going to win the next fight. But overall, lots of fun breaking this down. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. We got off a little tangent at the end, but, we got to do it. I hope you guys had some fun because I did. Loved breaking this card down. Smash the hell out of that like button. Got more live shows coming. Tomorrow, we're doing Bellator predictions, and then we'll have this week's Best MMA Bets, Fight Companions, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're going nuts with the Fight Companions, so stay tuned for all of the content. You are the best, guys, and hope you guys had a lot of fun being here. Thank you all so much. Signing off. Smash the likes, guys. Have a great night.